The news broke like a thunderclap across Washington, D.C. on a cold December morning. The date, December 10, 2025. Reuters first carried the story. The U.S. Commerce Department had quietly granted a limited number of export licenses. These licenses allowed select American companies to sell a modified, high-performance AI chip to China, Nvidia's H200. This chip, engineered for the demands of artificial intelligence, immediately sent shockwaves through Congress, the Pentagon, and the global tech industry. For months, a fierce debate had raged behind closed doors. Now, it was out in the open. The world was watching. This was no ordinary trade deal. The US and China are locked in a race for technological dominance, with AI at the very top of the list. Chips like the H200 are the engines of this new era. Granting China access, even limited, was seen by many as a dangerous gamble. The question: had the US just handed its chief rival a key to unlock military AI ambitions? The announcement felt abrupt, but the tensions had been building for years. The US had previously enacted sweeping bans on the most advanced chips, like Nvidia's H200 and A100, to slow China's military modernization. These controls aimed to create a technological bottleneck, preventing Beijing from developing sophisticated AI for autonomous weapons and advanced surveillance. The H200 was Nvidia's answer, a chip designed for China, powerful but engineered to fall just below US export thresholds. The immediate fallout: a storm of phone calls, urgent memos, and heated press conferences. On Capitol Hill, China hawks were furious, calling the decision a dangerous loophole. They argued any advanced AI chip in China could eventually find its way into military programs. The administration, however, insisted its policy was nuanced, allowing US companies to compete in China's vast market while protecting national security. This single decision exposed deep fault lines in American policy toward China. The stakes were clear. The US was trying to balance economic interests with national security. Critics saw the move as a capitulation, a risk to American technological leadership. Supporters argued that a total ban would only accelerate China's domestic chip development. The debate was fierce, with both sides warning of unintended consequences. The world's two superpowers were now locked in a new kind of arms race, one measured in algorithms and silicon. The H200 was at the center of it all. The decision would reverberate far beyond Washington, shaping the future of global technology and security. As the dust settled, one thing was certain: the battle over AI supremacy had entered a new, more dangerous phase. The world was watching, and the consequences would be felt for years to come. The chip that shook Washington was just the beginning. The US government's policy shift on the H200 was not a simple green light. The Commerce Department, through its Bureau of Industry and Security, established a rigorous licensing process. These exports were not for just anyone in China. Only specific commercial end users, supposedly not tied to the People's Liberation Army. The goal let American tech giants like Nvidia maintain a foothold in China's civilian market, while starving the Chinese military of the most advanced tech. This is what experts call a small yard, high fence strategy. Protect a narrow set of critical technologies with robust controls, while relaxing restrictions elsewhere. The H200, being slightly less powerful, was deemed just outside the fence. Proponents argued a total ban would only push China to accelerate its own chip-making efforts. A targeted approach, they said, could slow China's military AI progress without cutting off US firms from a lucrative market. Critics, however, saw major flaws. In China, the line between commercial and military is often blurry. China's strategy of military-civil fusion means civilian tech can be rapidly adapted for military use. A company that looks like a harmless e-commerce giant today could be supporting a military project tomorrow. The fear: H200 chips sold for commercial data centers could be diverted to train AI for drone swarms or missile guidance. The risk of diversion was at the heart of the controversy. The administration countered with strict end-use verification measures, audits, and inspections for companies receiving the chips. But many remained skeptical. How could US officials monitor every chip in China's vast, opaque system? China has a history of acquiring sensitive tech through both legal and illegal means. To China hawks, the policy looked less like a high fence and more like a flimsy gate. They believed the national security risks far outweighed any economic benefits. The debate was now raging in public, with both sides digging in. The stakes: America's technological edge and the future of global security. The world was watching to see if this calculated risk would pay off, or prove to be a grave error. The H200 was now a symbol of the High-Wire Act at the heart of US-China tech policy. The outcome was anything but certain. The reaction from Capitol Hill was swift and bipartisan, united in concern. Lawmakers from both parties, known for their hawkish views on China, called for hearings and demanded answers from commerce and defense officials. The chairman of the House Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party called the decision a dangerous miscalculation, prioritizing corporate profits over security. He warned these chips would supercharge Beijing's military AI push. Security officials and intelligence analysts echoed these concerns. Many had spent their careers tracking China's efforts to acquire foreign technology for its military. They pointed to a clear pattern. Beijing uses a whole-of-society approach: legal investments, academic collaborations, cyber theft, and exploiting commercial trade. An analyst from a Washington think tank told reporters, "To assume these H200 chips will only be used for commercial purposes is naive. In China, there is no real distinction. Any advanced technology is dual use by default." The fear: the US was enabling the very threat it was trying to contain. At the core of their argument, military-civil fusion, a national strategy mandated by China's top leadership. It aims to break down barriers between the civilian tech sector and the military-industrial complex. The goal: ensure any technological breakthrough can be rapidly adapted for military use. Security experts argued that selling H200 chips to any entity in China effectively means selling them to the Chinese state. The end-user verification process, they claimed, was a bureaucratic fiction. It could not stand up to a determined state-level effort to divert the technology. This alarm was not just about the present, but the future of warfare. Experts painted a grim picture: autonomous drones making life-or-death decisions, AI-powered systems crippling enemy networks, and intelligent surveillance tracking every movement. Developing these capabilities requires immense computing power. The H200 chip, while not the absolute best, is powerful enough to train sophisticated military AI models. By allowing these exports, critics argued, the US was helping China build the arsenal for a future conflict. The stakes had never been higher. The debate was no longer just about chips. It was about the future of global power. To understand the controversy, you have to understand the H200 chip itself. It's not just a component. It's a marvel of modern engineering, a graphics processing unit, or GPU. Originally designed for video games, GPUs excel at the parallel processing needed for training large AI models. The H200 is part of Nvidia's Hopper architecture, among the world's most advanced. It's built for large-scale AI and high-performance computing. The H200's strategic value lies in its performance: massive high-bandwidth memory, trillions of calculations per second. Link thousands together, and you have a supercomputer, the backbone of modern AI research. For China's military, access to such a chip is a strategic prize. The People's Liberation Army is aggressively pursuing intelligentized warfare, AI integrated into every aspect of military operations. This includes logistics, autonomous vehicles, and electronic warfare. To develop these systems, the PLA needs to train complex AI models, requiring exactly the kind of computing power H200 clusters provide. Without high-end GPUs, China's military AI development would be slower and less effective. That's why the US originally targeted chips like the H100 with export controls. The H200 complicates this strategy, powerful enough to be a game changer, even if not the absolute state of the art. It could be used for better targeting algorithms, analyzing satellite imagery, or creating realistic simulations for training. For Beijing, acquiring the H200 is not just a commercial win, it's a vital step in military modernization. The battle over the H200 is about much more than chips. It's about who will control the future of artificial intelligence and, by extension, The future of global power. The stakes could not be higher.